Right, this is seriously the last time I'm gonna make this. The webcam kept shutting off, and then like the last one I made was like 18 minutes long. So I'm gonna try and keep this under 10 minutes, keep it concise. I went on this big tangent about like why I don't like making music on the laptop anymore. So I'll just keep it brief and cool and not mumble like I am right now. But and plus I want to watch some Dexter before I have to get to my homework. I made an album called Chemical X for Pup LG. I'll put a link in it. It's free, so check it out. I hope to start working with some people making instrumentals for them. But other than that, personally, I'm not going to make music on my laptop anymore. I'm going to build a modular synth. That's what we're here today for this Trek update. I got that turntable, and I don't use it because I don't have it out. So I'm going to buy a table, keep all my synth gear over there, and my turntable and stuff just there, covered in a tarp so it doesn't get all dusty. Because I went to a show a few months ago, or maybe just about a month ago, and there were people playing that like are on the same level as me, on a lower level as me, and like I've been using all these excuses, and they had like less gear than me too, and they're still like playing, and I was kind of envious of that because I keep making all these excuses as to like, oh, I need all this great gear to play, but I mean, then I thought back to when I was like a teenager. It's like, dude, I had like a shitty Ibanez bass starter pack, and we used to play shows with those. Sounded like ass, but we still played. And that's one of the things I miss is like playing in front of people and having cool looking gear. Like I could right now play with my laptop, but I don't want to. Like I'm firm on that one. I don't want to play live with my laptop. I think it looks lame. Yeah, there's a lot of control I can have, and it's really intuitive, and I could probably make all kinds of automations and stuff, but I don't want to do that. I want to build a modular synthesizer. And sorry, I'm just trying to get comfy. So what I'm going to do is I'm starting with that table. That's going to be my first piece of my musical trek. And it's kind of weird that's just a table. Like, how musical is that? But when you understand, it's to keep all my stuff out. So if I ever have an idea, it's just like, power switch. Let's get into this. Not fucking 20 minutes of taking shit up. Like I made that video where I'm just like setting the shit up, and it's kind of boring, isn't it? I don't even play, right? I think I just set it up, and I cut out like me walking back and forth, so you can imagine how long it really was. But yeah, if I just had all my shit there, unveiled it from that tarp or that sheet or whatever, and then just pushed play, then if I had an idea, I could just get into it. And that's one of the things, another reason why I don't want to be on my laptop. Because yeah, I can just jump into it right now, open GarageBand, open Ableton or whatever. But if I start hitting like a brick wall, oh, I gotta go on Netflix, or I deleted my Facebook, but before I'd go on Facebook like 6 times an hour and not do anything. I'd just go on there and like scroll and be like, okay, no one said anything. And that was like 2 minutes of my life wasted. But so yeah, I'm gonna build that modular synth. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the Cell 9 case from Pittsburgh Modular because it comes with a power supply and a bus board and the rails. And some people might be like, dude, just build your own. You're gonna save so much money. Maybe, but if my modules just like stop working, I'm not gonna know if it's because the module sucks or because I did a shitty job building my case and putting my power supply and my bus board on there. So I don't want to have to worry about that. After I build this synth, if I feel like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna upgrade, I'm gonna get a freaking something that's the size of a fucking wall, then yeah, at that point I'll just build one. So I'm starting with that case, and I'm setting a few bucks aside every once in a while. I know I have to buy a bunch of Christmas presents soon, so it's not like I can just put away like 40 bucks for this synth, but I'm putting a little bit of money away. Like if I ever get tipped out at work from the bartender, it's maybe like anywhere from like $2 to $5. I'll usually throw that in there. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with that case, and the first module I'm gonna buy is probably going to be the Lynx module for Mutable Instruments, because to me, it's like, yeah, you should probably start with a noise source, some type of oscillator or a white noise source or whatever. But some people would probably think it's a good idea to get the sound out. So no matter what I've got, or no matter what I get in the future, I've got something that I can plug it into a speaker from. And So that's what I'm gonna start with. At my top, so I'm gonna have two, right? But you can get them. You can buy both of them separately, of course. But then you can get these panels on the side that like keep them together. That's what I'm gonna do. My top one is gonna be my drum machine. My bottom one's gonna be my synth that I'm actually gonna play. Like with a keyboard. I have this little MIDI keyboard, right? MIDI controller right here. So the first module on the bottom one is going to be my MIDI controller, and I'm going to use that multiples on the top, probably over here, and then just keep both of them together that way. But the top one is going to be totally segregated to drums or rhythms or whatever. So my sequencers are going to be up there, and I intend on getting 4 sequencers for my final one. But to start, I'm probably just going to get Delptronics Triggerman because it seems pretty cool, and like I can actually play with it in real time. And like I said, I'm going to be playing in front of people. I want to play live. Like the next Pup LG album, if I still use that name, it's going to be like a real album. Like I want to get it on Pandora. I want to get it on iTunes. I want to make money from it. So if at that point I decide I want a singer, like I actually want a singer, it's going to be like, okay, this is a band now. Like, or if it's just going to be me by myself, then I might have less guest spots or write up some contracts to where you get royalties or whatever. Like it's gonna be a real, like legit album that I can play live. So to start, I want that Triggerman. I'm probably gonna get the Tip Top Audio 808 modules. 909 because I think the clap is only a 909. Because making Chemical X, I realized I only used kick, snare, clap together because if you use both of them and you pan them separately, it sounds really cool. Hat, and then cowbell. So if I get all 5 of those, then I'll have essentially everything that I needed on Chemical. And I mean, I use different drums on different songs, but for the most part, I really like the way those 5 sounds worked together to make a music, like to make a beat, or whatever you want to call it, a drum section. So if I got those 5 modules plus my multiples and then the Triggerman, I still have some room left over, and at that point I want to start building on my more rhythms. So the 4MS rotating clock divider can come up with some pretty cool subdivisions for that shit. And then eventually I'd like the, what is it, grids for Mutable Instruments. I'm just going to get everything Mutable Instruments has eventually, but get that. And then, yeah, so my top one's just going to be drums. My bottom one is going to be my synth, like I already said. So it's going to have that MIDI thing. Then I want some type of oscillator. I'm thinking, like the Dofer one's pretty inexpensive, the AC110, or the A110, whatever. The other one's pretty inexpensive, but I like the Pittsburgh Modular one. I think that one sounds really cool. I can't afford some of these other ones, like the $700 ones, but I'm sure those ones sound bad, I guess. And then I already mentioned Mutable Instruments, but their edges, holy shit, that synth, I mean that noise, music, whatever, sound source sounds so fucking cool. If you guys haven't checked it out, check that thing out. Like it does really cool 8-bit sounds, like old synths, and then it does like really good drones. So if I get that, plus the ripples that can kind of emulate a filter / ADSR, that'd be badass. Then I want an ADSR. Then I want a filter. So I'll probably get the Pittsburgh Modular ones of those. Yeah, I think my synth is mostly going to be Pittsburgh Modular and Mutable Instruments with some tip-top drum stuff. And, the Dofer sound source, or the white noise source, whatever, that I want that as part of my drum section too. And then, what are they called? Gyoske? Let me see. I never know how to fucking pronounce that name. Gyskes, whatever. They have no drums. Those sound kind of cool. If you can get past the fact that it sounds like a fart. And then they have a VCO fan or whatever, voltage controlled fan. That's pretty cool. So I might get all of those. Yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated on the things, each thing I buy. So it's, I mean, it's not going to happen like today or next month or something. It's probably going to be a few years since I have it done. But you guys will be here as it happened. Alright. Just one last thing. I'll go a little bit into 10 minutes. I started a podcast. I don't know if you guys have listened to it yet, but I'll put a link in it. It's called the Music Collective Podcast. It's on SoundCloud. Where basically I just interview musicians I know and musicians I hope to collaborate with or have collaborated with. You guys should check it out. People are pretty interesting. And you can download all the episodes. So, or if you want to be on it, hit me up. Other than that, download my album. It was free. It comes with 2 bonus tracks if you download it. I keep saying, I think that's everything. Alright, everybody. Have a good one.